Do you have trouble getting to the range? I do. Even before ammo was overpriced, if you could find it at all, I had trouble getting to the range, mostly because I'm a lazy hypocrite, but also sometimes because of my family or the business I run or the YouTube channel. I pretty much always had an excuse. Now, there are always small things you can do to get better outside of the range, whether that's training your weapons handling, your mag changes, malfunction drills, even dry firing. But I wanted to shoot guns in the house. And apparently, you're not allowed to shoot guns in the house. Until now. Just kidding, I'm not shooting guns in the house. I'm using a Coolfire Trainer. It's a little simulator thingy that gives you recoil. And you probably already get where I'm going with this, when I say that this is better than Dryfire. But, the recoil's not even the third best thing about it. Now, this video is sponsored by Coolfire. They sent the trainer, they sent a little laser thing, I'll go over more. They sent this big bohunkus here, it works off of CO2. They sent me this stuff, but what's unique about this sponsorship is that I actually sought them out. I said, hey, that thing is cool. It was one of the things I was most excited about from the BDU Epic Shoot that I went to a few months ago. I said, I want to do a video on this. It comes with a little laser like so. That's how you can practice with the light up target thingies that I'll show you in a minute. But it works off of CO2. There's a bunch of different ways that you can fill it up. There's like 3 or 4 different ways. You can check the link down below to see like the different ways that it can work. It also works with a ton of different guns. You can go check to see if your gun's available. I use a Glock 19 Gen 3 because of course I use a Glock 19 Gen 3. You fill it up with this right here. You do it like this. You mash it in, get your little pop, woo, then you're ready to rock. Also, I guess too, if you go with this, then if you need a good backup melee weapon, you could use this. If you're already ahead of me and you already understand the advantages this has over traditional dry fire, I apologize, but let me explain what my problems with dry fire are. My problem with dry fire, now this does not have the Coolfire Trainer in it. Typical dry fire practice, you're practicing one very specific, albeit very important thing. You can even practice from presentation, your initial trigger press. Cool, great. But then I have to do a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't really do because I want to practice, especially me trying to practice trigger reset. I have to lose my firing grip. I'm not currently trying to reobtain my sights. I do this, I hold on to this, which I shouldn't be doing. I then can find that little sweet spot and then work on a trigger reset. None of that's what I would do. I should be able to hit this first squeeze and then immediately go back out. But even just then, even though I knew that's what I was talking about, I instinctively held onto that trigger. So there are problems with that type of practice. Don't get me wrong, dry fire is one of the most important things that you should work on, but it's much like lining up in front of a heavy bag and just doing a single technique over and over and over again. Like when you're learning the technique, when you're teaching a new shooter, dry firing is a great way to teach them the fundamentals of pressing a trigger. But when it's time to shadow box or when it's time to work that heavy bag for real, you need to be able to do things a little more dynamic. And that's really where this shines. I don't have to take my eyes off of my sights or do any other extra stuff. This isn't even the best thing about the Coolfire Trainer. The real best part about this is that it goes in your gun. Your gun that has your sights on it and your light in it that goes in your holster. That's the best part. Now, I'm a simple guy. I am a simple man with simple sights. But the thing about, that's not it, this one. Even if you had something super complicated or you were getting used to using one of these, which I'm working on these, you can practice with your red dot. You can practice with different configurations on your pistol. You don't have to get something else. I have an airsoft version of my carry gun. I have a blue gun version of my carry gun, and they're good for different reasons. I can do force on force with this one, though I probably shouldn't shoot it in the house. But this is a problem. Not only does it doesn't really accept my light great, it actually, even though this was sold to me as a 1-for-1 replica, it doesn't actually go into my holsters. It's like I guess a millimeter thicker than the real thing. Whenever we train with blue guns and we're doing like weapons-based grappling or retention or disarms, whenever people see us jamming the pistol up against each other and pulling the trigger or simulating pulling the trigger, they're like, yeah, right, that would totally jam up if it was real. But like, it's good to find out whether pushing puts it out of battery or not. Like how much can you push the gun out of battery before it malfunctions? Yes, it is a cheaper, less time-consuming alternative to range time. Yes, you can practice skills such as your reset and sight alignment in a little more realistic way than traditional dry fire. Yes, you can use your gun, your holster, your lights. That's still not the best, most exciting thing about it. When I saw this, I knew all that. I skipped right past all that. And I got excited because I can practice with this in my house. My house. Not a shoot house, not a range. I bought these things. I bought these. Coolfire didn't send me these. They sent me some other targets, which are okay. But I wanted these jammies because these are what they were using at the BDU Epic Shoot. It's like it's a whole thing. These are electronic, customizable targets. So now we're about to practice with recoil, with our gun, in our house, with targets that tell us whether or not we hit them. I'm gonna set these up and spend a couple nights playing guns in the house. Now, once you get your targets set up, and you can get as creative or involved around the house as you want to. You get these things set up. Woo. Uh-oh. Oh, I wasn't doing as good as I thought I was. So, there, I'm good. I got one in the kitchen. Ooh, got him. Ooh. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. We all fancy ourselves these doom dealers, these Rambos and whatnot. Get in there. Get in the hole. There we go. Yep, you put it in for 2 seconds and you pull it out. I realized that target was a little washed out by the window, so I moved it over a little bit. I've got a target sitting right here, as you can see. And I have to double tap that, and the cool part is I have to use what I have available for cover and concealment. Like in real life, what I would have. I have to come out, and I have to hit that like that. Now I have to get this one across the house. Oh, that was tougher, and this one comes back on. That's a lot of fun. That's not something you can just practice anywhere. And I could practice shooting like in ways that I wouldn't normally like want to waste ammo or anything on. I wouldn't want to waste my money and time practicing dumb stuff. Weird retention positions, or maybe I don't want to blow my fingers off by like holding on to a target or whatever. This is fun, and not only is it fun for me, this would be fun for an uninitiated shooter. Someone, you know, you've got dry fire, maybe airsoft or paintball, and then you've got the range. And there's a little gap in the middle for those people that are like, hell yeah, let's go shoot guns, Bo. You gotta like get them from point A to point B. This is fun. This is like a video game. Wait, pump the brakes. Nerdy Mike is back. There's some safety considerations that I do want to talk about because there's a lot that you're not seeing in this video, which was all the prep time spent making sure there was no live ammunition or anything like that around while we were using the Coolfire Trainer. So I thought I'd show you in the kit what comes in it so you kind of understand that. This is the Coolfire Trainer itself. It replaces your barrel and your chamber. Once that's in there, there's no way to introduce live ammunition into that firearm. It also comes with a recoil spring so that it'll all function. It has little tabs you can put in your magazine so that your slide doesn't lock back if you want to use your magazine. Lube, spare parts, all kinds of other stuff. the laser to screw on if you go with this option. It's a very safe device, but you just do need to be conscious of the fact that you're using an actual firearm for training and fun, which is okay, but you have to double, triple, and quadruple check. And then if you're going to put your firearm back in its live configuration, just make sure that you are very, very thorough in transitioning between those two modes. Okay, back to having fun. Now I've got targets here. I got a target over there. I can pick which one I want to go to first. I can get the closest guy. You know, first come, first serve. Pop, pop. Get that guy. Pop, pop. Got him. This guy. Pop, pop. Ooh, took 3 shots. I need to know that. Now they all back up. I'll get him again. Boom. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm minute a bad guy at the full length of my house, but I'm not as good as I would like to be. Oh, you're getting wrecked if you're in the office with me, though. Ooh. And you actually get quite a good number of shots per CO2 fill. I'm not sure exactly what the cost per shot is. I'm sure it's in the pennies. It's not the 50 cents or sometimes dollar a round that we're paying now. And it's not loud. And it doesn't stink. I'm not dirty when I'm done. But I did get meaningful practice. I highly recommend this thing. I know it's a sponsored ad. I get that. And you can take that with a grain of salt. You know, whatever. But I like the idea of practicing with my stuff. You know, train how you fight only goes so far. Like you can't hire people to let you gunfight with them for real. It's just like in martial arts. There's shadow boxing, there's drilling, there's heavy bag work, there's sparring, then there's full contact fighting. You know, there's all kinds of different ways to practice your art. It's the same with this. You still need dry fire, hammer home those fundamental techniques. You can do that while you're watching TV. Then there's this, which lets us be more dynamic and more engaged in our training and allows us to practice with our gear in our environment. That's pretty dope. So click the link down below if you're interested in being able to train at home like this. Because you might be hot stuff on the range, and you might even be a bad mamma jamma force on force. But how good are you with your gear in your home? And how can you know that? That seems like something important that you should know.